carrying 235 passengers has just arrived in New Delhi. As we are getting those pictures live a short while back, Union Minister there to receive the second batch of Indians who have now arrived from in Israel at Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport. Straight away, we're going across to Isha now. Isha, good morning to you. Amid the crisis, there is a lot of relief that can be seen and felt amongst those stranded Indians who have now returned home safely.
Yes, Amita, a very good morning to you. We're currently standing inside the Indira Gandhi International Airport where a lot of passengers are arriving from different parts of Israel. In fact, a lot of relief, like you said, is on the face of all these Indians who have been successfully rescued by the Indian government under the very successful Operation Ajay, which carried 235 passengers in the second flight, which landed today. We have somebody with us, Mr. Tripathi here with us, who was stuck in Israel, who's just arrived here. Sir, आपका क्या experience रहा? Tell us more about it.
मेरा एक्सपीरियंस, मेरा नाम पंकज त्रिपाठी है और मैं वहाँ इजराइल में 2 साल रह रहा हूँ और उस तरह की, जैसा कि मैं बता चुका हूँ कि इस तरह की सिचुएशन वहाँ पे पहले भी आई है, लेकिन बहुत छोटी घटनाएं हुई हैं इस तरह का कि उन्होंने रॉकेट से हमला किया और हम लोगों को सायरन की आवाज़ आती है, हर सिटी में आती है। तो हमें बताया गया था कि ऐसी सिचुएशन आने पे हमें हर अपार्टमेंट में, बिल्डिंग में एक सेफ हाउस होता है, वहाँ पे जाके रहना है कुछ टाइम के लिए, ताकि क्योंकि रॉकेट जब गिरता है तो इनका आयरन डोम जो होता है तो उससे जो टकराने के बाद जो पार्ट गिरते हैं वो पूरे टुकड़े सिटी या कहीं भी फैल सकता है। तो उससे बचने के लिए हमें बताया गया था कि वहाँ रहने के लिए। तो लास्ट 1 हफ्ते से वहाँ पे सिचुएशन काफ़ी ख़राब थी और हम लोगों ने भी फेस किया, काफ़ी नुकसान हुआ, सब लोग डरे से हमें अभी भी रह रहे हैं और काफ़ी लोग वहाँ पे फंसे हुए हैं। अभी काफ़ी इंडियंस हैं जो वहाँ पे 18,000 इंडियन्स रह रहे हैं पूरे इजराइल में और उनको अभी आने का मतलब कि बहुत जल्दी तो सोच रहे हैं।
सर, अभी कितने डरे हुए थे आप वहाँ, जब आप वहाँ फंसे हुए थे, और वहाँ कैसा था?
चूँकि इजराइल की गवर्नमेंट भी बहुत पावरफुल, एक वहाँ की आर्मी बहुत पावरफुल मानी जाती है। ये जो हमला हुआ बहुत कायरतापूर्ण हमला हुआ जो उन्होंने किया। मॉर्निंग में हम लोगों को 6:30 पे लगातार सायरन की आवाज़ें आईं, 20 मिनट तक कंटिन्यू बजता रहा और फिर पता चला बाद में न्यूज़ के थ्रू कि इस पर इतना हमला हुआ है और इतने लोग इन्फिल्ट्रेट करके अंदर आ गए हैं, लोगों को मार रहे हैं। वो बॉर्डर एरिया पे प्रॉब्लम थी, बट हम लोगों को भी बताया गया था कि आप लोग भी अपने घर में रहें, कहीं बाहर ना निकले, खिड़की दरवाजे बंद करके रहें, क्योंकि वो इन्फिल्ट्रेट कर गए हैं। और मैंने न्यूज़ में के थ्रू भी देखा कि 10 नेपाली लड़कों को, वो लोग एक अपार्टमेंट में रह रहे थे, खिड़की खुली हुई थी, उन्होंने ग्रेनाइट अंदर कमरे में डाल दिया, 10 के 10 उसी टाइम मर गए। तो इस वजह से हमें बताया गया था कि ऐसी सिचुएशन आने पे आप बाहर मत निकलिएगा और घर में ही रहिएगा।
तो भारत सरकार को आप क्या कहेंगे? आपको रेस्क्यू करके लाया गया है, उसके बारे में क्या कहेंगे?
भारत सरकार का मैं बहुत दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ। उन्होंने इस तरह के मिशन पहले भी किए हैं, जैसे रूस यूक्रेन वार के टाइम में ऑपरेशन गंगा की मिशन किया था और वहाँ से काफ़ी इंडियंस को लाया था। उसी तरह का ये हम लोगों को पूरा विश्वास था कि भारत सरकार कुछ इस तरह का ज़रूर उपाय करेगी कि ताकि वहाँ पे फंसे हुए जितने भी भारतीय हैं, अभी काफ़ी लोग फंसे हुए हैं, काफ़ी लोगों को बहुत बुरा फील हो रहा है। जिस सिचुएशन में मैं रह के आया हूँ तो देख रहा था कि काफ़ी लोगों को बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, आना चाह रहे हैं एयरपोर्ट पे भी बिना कन्फर्मेस टिकट के कन्फर्म हुए भी आके एयरपोर्ट पे है कि कुछ ना कुछ। तो मैं साथ ही भारत सरकार के से ये भी कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि जितना पॉसिबल हो सके फ़्लाइट वहाँ पे भेजें ताकि जितने भी फंसे भारतीय हैं वो वापस आ सके।
आप ये कह रहे हैं सर कि जिनकी फ्लाइट्स नहीं भी कंफर्म थी वो भी और भारत सरकार उनको फैसिलिटेट कर रही थी?
जी बिल्कुल कर रही थी। जो भी टिकट, जैसे कोई किसी सिचुएशन में नहीं जाना हुआ तो उसकी जगह पे वो बाकी जो स्टूडेंट्स वहाँ पे थे उनको जैसे वेटिंग लिस्ट डाल दिया तो उनको बुला लिया।
So this was Mr. Tripathi telling us that there were people who didn't even have tickets, but the Indian government successfully has brought them back. Operation Ajay is currently in full swing.
Well, that's the kind of dedication that we are looking at, as how the Indian government has been quick to respond to the SOS calls that have been made by the stranded Indians. More than 18,000 that are said to be there, and mostly who are students studying there in Israel. And Operation Ajay, which has been launched in full swing, the government of India has said clearly that those who wish to return home, there will be special flights that will be arranged. The second civilian flight that is now arrived from Israel carrying 235 passengers. There is a video inside the plane as and when they were about to land at Delhi's IGI airport. Vande Mataram chants that could be heard inside the aircraft. Listen. Well, Vande Mataram chants that could be heard reverberating in that aircraft. Pradeep, good morning to you. It's early in the morning there where you're reporting from, but flights after flights that Indians are now safely returning home, and this couldn't have been a better feeling for them. At last, they are back home.
Yes, it has brought a sigh of relief not only for the people who had been stranded and stuck up here in Israel because of Hamas attack last Saturday, but also we have seen that it has brought smile on their faces. But what's more important is that when I was interacting with most of the passengers here at Tel Aviv airport who were on their way to India, they said, we knew that the Modi government is going to help them, but we never thought that it will be, evacuation process will be so fast. Within just 4 or 5 days, the decision was taken, and after 5 days, the flight had started and we were taken to back home. This was the second batch of 235 passengers who had reached back home with their near and dear one, because their family members were quite worried because of the situation that is escalating and deteriorating with each passing day as Israel is planning invasion of Gaza Strip. Already the people there had been asked to move towards other areas because half of the population in Gaza had been asked to move, though they had started moving. So they knew that the situation is going to be difficult in coming days, and there can be retaliation from the Hamas side. So many of them wanted to go back home. They wanted to register their name. There was online registration. What is important is that Indian ambassador to Israel, he had been throughout there at the airport trying to ensure that none of the passengers face any kind of a problem. So the government of India is trying to facilitate their return. And this is not first time when the government of India has done. We saw that this is the second operation that has been conducted this year alone. Last time it was Operation Kavri when the people were stuck up in Sudan. Before that, I myself had been witness to what really happened in Ukraine and how the Operation Ganga was carried out. The Prime Minister that time had spoken to both Ukrainian as well as Russian president, and he ensured that the green corridor was created so that the students who were stuck up in Sumy, Mariupol and many other difficult areas where there had been continuous pounding of shells and rockets, so that they can be moved from that place. And that time also we saw that from the war zone he was able to take out people. Here at least the situation had been better in most of the areas where from easily Indians can go, but some of the Indians are here. They want to stay back. They do not want to leave. It has been the choice of the people of India whether they want to leave. So far as the government is concerned, whosoever wants to go, they are providing them flights, facilitating their return back home. It has brought smile on their faces, a sigh of relief for the family members back home, because when you're sitting far off hundreds and thousands of kilometers away, you always are concerned about your near and dear ones. And they had been that we had been continuously getting phone call from our parents, from our family members. Come back home, how is the situation? So some of them said that though the places they were putting up, situation was not that bad, but because the family members were concerned, so they saw this as an opportunity to go for the online registration and take a flight to India. And you can see the Vande Mataram chants, and everybody had been, voting gratitude. They said we thank Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as we thank the Foreign Minister, also External Affairs Minister, so as Jai Shankar, for taking such a fast decision, because they didn't wait for the situation to deteriorate, because then it can be problematic in the coming days.
Absolutely.
But immediately they ensured that these people can go back home.
Pradeep,
So
we also want to understand from you, because there are latest pictures that are also coming in, videos that are now coming across of how the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, have now intensified with their counter strikes, and Israel continues to strike Hamas targets, and there have been also fresh overnight explosions that could be seen and heard in Gaza. Let's play out pictures that are coming in, explosions that were heard over Gaza in early hours of Saturday morning as Israeli strikes continued. Pradeep, today was the day, last Saturday, when the first reports came in of that surprise attack from Hamas terrorists as they infiltrated by air and land. And today being also another day as it completes a week long, we are looking at how Israel has now gotten almost control of all of the areas that were attacked by Hamas terrorists.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Last Saturday we saw that they infiltrated, they used the sea route, they used the land route, and they came by air using those motorized paragliders to infiltrate into Israel's side. They continued with their barbaric and brutal act by targeting women and children, taking some of them hostage. And today, in fact, what actually the Israelis are trying to do, we have seen that they had been bombarding many of those areas, trying to flatten those structures where they are feeling the Hamas people are hiding. But now they have given an ultimatum to people in Gaza, asking them to vacate because it is about 1 million people who have to leave their land. Though the Egyptian president has said that they should not leave their place, but yes, there should be no collateral damage. And already Americans have also asked for the kind of a safe passage to the people so that they can leave that area and go to places far away from any kind of a bombardment, because they do not want any collateral damage. Because these all Hamas fighters, they're hiding in those populated areas, they're hiding behind the population from where they are targeting Israelis. And so we had been in that belt for the last 3-4 days, and yesterday also we saw how the mobilization of troops was going on, the tank movement was taking place. Many of the places they have dug out trenches, also artillery had been firing around. So it was earlier it was only the carpet bombing by the aircrafts. Now it's the artillery and the tank that is pounding shells and bombs in that area. That means now the ground invasion has also started, and now it's to be seen when the ground assault will take place. Once the population will move out of that area, it's now a matter of time. Anytime you'll hear or get the visuals, and we'll be getting you the latest updates that now finally the troops have entered, because they also know.
But what about the relocation deadline that has been given by Israel, especially to those residents who have been living in the northern side of Gaza? The UN says it is impossible to move millions of people in such a short amount of time. It is not possible at all.
Yes, you're absolutely right, because it's not that easy that half of the population from the Gaza can immediately leave their homes, and they are also uncertain where to go, because they should have at least a place. But really it's a very difficult situation for the people there also, and for that nobody else but the Hamas is to be blamed, because Israel was not targeting them. There was a peaceful atmosphere, because all of a sudden Hamas people, they resorted to a kind of a misadventure, they resorted to barbarism, brutality, and they have taken several people hostage. So there is a lot of pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu government also those hostage back. Yesterday we were in kibbutz area. We had been talking to the brothers. His unending search for the sister, 36-year-old, and they had a big plan, because after 2 weeks it's her birthday. So they had a big plan to celebrate her birthday somehow, but the mother was able to save her 3-year-old baby. But what is really heart-wrenching is that that 3-year-old baby keeps on asking, where is mama? So every time the father tells her mama had gone to market, she'll be back soon. So how long the father is going to console the daughter? So this is the story of almost so many families, and that's one of the reasons that even Joe Biden, the American president, has said that he will not sit till he is able to get all those hostage back, like Americans who have also been taken hostage, and they are in the captivity of Hamas. Though there had been certain countries who are trying to play a role of a mediator.
But the loss of lives has been huge. Over 1,300 lives that have been lost, and this is something that daily updates that have been shared by the Israeli Defense Forces, but there is chaos there that is still being witnessed. However, Israel has now even gone ahead to increase their counter strikes on Hamas terror points as well, and pictures that are now being shared also by the Israeli Defense Forces and its Air Force. For the moment, thank you very much, Pradeep.